Welcome, everyone. My name is Rob Pickering, founder and CEO of KnoCard, guys. Today is an exciting day because we are getting super, super close. We have a lot of reps that are getting ready to hit the ground on the new product for KnoCard. This is our KnoCard Enterprise platform. This is our business-to-business platform, and you guys are in for a treat tonight because we have an amazing presentation. I'm going to walk you guys through. I'm not going to use this presentation as so much like I'm going to as a sales tool right now. I want you guys to understand what's on the page. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about how to actually use it and how to position it as a sales tool. What we want to keep it super easy. But guys, welcome to the call. Some of you guys have been on several of our calls. Some of you guys have been recently invited to these calls. All these calls are going to be recorded directly in the back office of KnoCard. We'll also have some links in some cloud services that we use, like Vimeo. We use KnoCard Direct. Sometimes we'll use YouTube. Whatever's easier to get those links off to, we'll definitely do. But welcome to the call. I'm going to try to keep the call, like I always say, at 45 minutes, but I really do just kind of want to say laser focus on the presentation tonight. If there's any small housekeeping things, we can knock that out also. But I just want to kind of talk about exactly what the actual presentation is about. Folks, you guys understand that we're going after the auto dealership vertical first. We obviously have the networking industry also out there, but this video is really around the auto dealership. So let me kind of take you guys a step back. The very first thing we need to do is get in the door to these dealerships. We're going to talk about different strategies out there of how to do that, how to effectively do that. We're going to talk about, you walking in, for example, pulling into that dealership. One of the first lines of defense is get out there and see that someone's going to fling you a business card. That's always a clear indication that you have an amazing account and probably a lot of success with it, because right out of the gate, we know that they're obviously losing business directly out of the gate. So very powerful that you guys can just pull right into the dealership, walk into the front door. A lot of times I'm going to tell you is do those types of things because you want to kind of see what the customer experience is. You need to understand and get a flavor of you being a customer walking into that dealership and kind of keeping your eyes open of what kind of flaws are in that dealership, what kind of opportunities that they're missing. Are people walking out? Are people standing around? Are people standing around the front desk? We start to understand how a dealership is working when all we have to do is just kind of walk in the customer shoes. So, that's what I definitely recommend out of the gate. If someone gives you a business card out on the street, hey, thanks so much. I'm just browsing, just stopping in here for a moment, but thanks so much, Ben, for giving me your card. And you'll see that he kind of walks away, right? So when you walk in that dealership, kind of see what's going on, walk up to the front, and the first thing you're going to maybe ask are things like, hey, my name is Rob Pickering with KnoCard here. I'm one of the reps in the area. And we'll walk through so you guys understand kind of what to say. But just say, hey, I'm looking for the general sales manager. Are they in the building today? A lot of times if they say yes, no, sometimes what I want you guys to do is just introduce yourself, right? We're not here to disrupt business. Okay. It's super important that right out of the gate, that this dealership understands that you respect their time. They're very, very busy and they're laser focused on selling more cars. Okay. So I always say, start off with some respect there. We're not here to traditionally just do an appointment directly on the fly. If you can, and the guy's like, yeah, I actually have some time, hoorah, let's do it. But we're not going to go into that with that mentality. What you are going to do, and let's kind of walk through, if they take you to the general sales manager, introduce yourself. My name is Rob Pickering with KnoCard. I'm the area rep right here in Indianapolis and Cleveland and Detroit, whatever the case may be. Just want to introduce myself, kind of blanking in the local area here. We have some newer technology that is out, and we're showing dealers like you how to realistically sell far more cars. Now, we're going to talk about some elevator pitches and a little bit more sassy ways to get in there. But the big thing we want to do is, hey, John, Ben handed me this business card out on the street, and this is spot on for what I'd like to help you with, because we know that you are losing opportunity. I don't know if you have any time right now, but I'd love to get on your schedule over the next maybe 24, 48 hours while I'm in the area, so you and I can sit down. But I think it's well worth 25 minutes of your time. Can we set something up? So we're going to talk about different pitches of how to get in there, of exactly what to say. But these guys are just normal people. We don't have to get crazy with pitches. But what we do want to do is we want to have some power statements of, hey, Ben handed me this business card. It's a clear indication to me, no disrespect, but you guys are losing business. Simple as that, right? So these are the types of things that we'll do. Let's just say they're not there. They're not in the dealership. A lot of times they're busy. They're out on that lot. They're on test drives. They're evaluating vehicles for appraisals. A lot of different reasons why they're not in the dealership. Hey, no problem. Hey, real quick, does he have a business card? Yeah. Here he is right here. His name's Marty Johnson. Awesome. And let me ask you something. What's your first name? Flip the card over. Write her name. What's your name? Amanda. Awesome. Hey, Amanda, you've been a huge help. Hey, Amanda. Normally, when's the kind of the quiet time around here? When is he usually around? Jot a note. Usually, I got to tell you, Wednesday mornings for some reason are always really quiet around here. He's always in the dealership. He's always here, usually from 8 to 4. Okay, cool. Write it down. Just write a note. Quick note. Hey, Amanda, I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much. Right? Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to take that information. You guys are going to take that information back to your cart, and we're going to take your KnoCard and we're going to scan that business card in, and we're going to automatically drop that into our pipeline, and we'll talk about training on that. But that's a very powerful thing. Get the business cards. Okay. Get those cards, start scanning them in. Let's start putting notes on there so we can start building up relationships. The deeper your pipeline goes, folks, the more sales you guys are going to get, the more opportunities that are there. You have to seize the moment and get as many as you possibly can. And we'll talk a little bit more in depth about, again, different strategies, how many dealerships we think you should hit, making some phone calls. We're going to look at a couple different strategies. Boots on the ground is going to be really powerful, but we're also going to talk about, how to actually go out there and start talking to people just by Zoom and things like that. Listen, in today, 2025, Zooms are super big. They're beneficial because they don't have to book an appointment with you. He can just get on a Zoom. We could show him this SaaS product, this digital product very, very quickly. And at the end of the day, there's no reason that we can't get them to engage and sign up. Right now, do I think that belly to belly is better? Do I think it's better face to face? Yeah, I really do. I think that's very, very super powerful if we can do that. But the reality is we may not be able to do that because everyone's schedule's on fire. So with saying that, we'll talk a little bit about strategies and things like that. We are going to give you those types of strategies and give you guys some kind of like game plans when you guys go out there. But before I get in this presentation, I mean this, and I mean this very sincerely. Guys, this is a huge opportunity. We're probably not going to have a lot of time to go through the actual compensation. I do want to go through a compensation. We are going to do a recording of compensation for you folks, so you guys really, really understand. We're also going to go through, after the presentation of, implementation. We want to make this simple, okay? And guys, here's the thing. I'm very open to, this is my first draft of this presentation here. Very open to making some changes on it. Whatever we can do to streamline the process. Well, the whole idea behind this little presentation is to introduce KnoCard because they've never seen it, right? Super important. A lot of times we want to immediately go to the problem. This is the problem, and I get it, okay? And I totally get it. We're gonna spotlight the problem first to kind of grab their attention. But the one thing that we need to do is they need to understand what KnoCard Smart Link is. They don't even know what the product is. So if they don't know what the product is, we can't really propose it as a solution when they don't even know what it is. So I want you guys to think two things. We got two things to tackle here. Number one, customer needs to understand what Smart Link is, what KnoCard is, right? And obviously there's some power there. Number two, how it can work for them, right? So it's the product. What the heck is this thing? And number two, how does this work for me, right? And how do we benefit from it? So let's kind of jump into it. Kathy Jodry, are you there? Are you on mute?
I'm here.
All right, perfect. All right, so Kathy, I may be asking you some questions kind of as we go through, just to add some interaction here, okay? But literally, if I were to sit down with you, okay, one of the first things I'm gonna do, guys, is I recommend that we have this tablet in front of us. I spoke with a lot of you guys. You guys do have tablets. I like the tablet because you're in control of it. You're not using their computer or anything like that. If you guys are struggling with some tools, definitely, reach out. We want to make sure you guys have the proper tools when you walk in. Professionalism, everything we do is top shelf here. We're selling a $1,500 product. I believe it's going to be $2,500 probably in the next 90 days. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're professional and nothing stops it. They're not looking at us of like, man, this is kind of a janky presentation, or who is this company, or that's why it's important that we're going to wear branding shirts, and we're going to act as if that you have 50 dealerships, 100 dealerships underneath your belt, right? And that's really why we want that professionalism. When you have professional brand, professional products, professional atmosphere, they don't ask a lot of questions. They won't ask a lot of questions. They're going to see the power of this, and they're going to get really interested. So let's kind of jump in. So if I were talking to Kathy, hey, Kathy, thanks so much for spending some time with me. Listen, I'm going to kind of blast through this. As I go through this, I'm going to add some kind of, some information as we go through, but I do want this to be very interactive if you're okay with that, because this is a new product to you, okay? So my objective here, Kathy, is really simple. I want to show you how easy this is. I have to be upfront with you. There's a lot behind our system. We sit on a very, very robust platform here. This is what we call a SaaS product. It's what we call a software as a service. It's a digital product. You guys are absolutely going to love it. And it is absolutely spot on for 2025 to help you and your dealership generate what you guys are here for. And that is to sell more cars. Kathy, are you against that at all? I mean, I know it kind of sounds like a crazy question, but if I can show you in a very short period of time how to increase those sales by even a minimum of 5 or 10 or 15%, something like this would probably be pretty valuable for your company, right?
Definitely. I can't wait to see it.
Awesome. So again, Kathy, the only little disclaimer I have to say is I'm going to speak from a position of we understand what dealerships do at a high level. Okay. So I'm not going to point to your dealership that you guys do certain things. And I want you to correct me as I go along if I'm incorrect of something. Okay. So we've seen some pretty bad habits of dealerships. We've seen pulling into dealerships where guys are just standing around smoking. We've actually evaluated and watched dealerships where we're kind of sitting in the back and people walk through the door and walk by 3 salespeople, Kathy, and no one even introduces themselves. We've been in dealerships where we can actually see customers walk in and just walk around and no one greet them. 5, 7, 8 minutes. You follow me? We've seen people walk in, have no one even up at your front desk. Your receptionist isn't even there. We don't know if they're here for new, used, parts, anything. We don't know anything. Okay. So please understand, I'm not here to say that this is what's happening in your dealership, but as I go through this presentation, we've really tailored a very powerful solution to a massive problem that we're seeing all the way across the board in your dealership. And again, I'm handing Ben, this is Ben's card. This is your sales rep. This is what he handed me out there today. Okay. And this is a clear indication that I think that you guys will highly benefit from this, because this right here, I'm going to tell you why we believe that this is absolutely not only just outdated, but we believe that you're going to lose some money by consistently using this. Is that okay?
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Just so we're clear. So welcome. This is, again, my name is Rob Pickering. I'm one of the business consultants right here with KnoCard. And we're really excited about a newer product that hit the market. It's called the KnoCard Smart Link. Track, trace, and deliver. And this specific presentation is specific right to you as a car dealership. So before we get into everything, we've kind of identified some problems. Lost prospects at the door, on the lot, and on the phone. So prospects at your agents taking phone calls, meeting people on the lot. There's no way to really capture referrals or friends or family with using these business cards, using some of the techniques, some of the things that you're using. Business cards don't have any tracking. They don't have any follow-up. Okay. There's no two-way interaction on that thing. And then obviously at the end of the day, sales reps are frustrated with outdated tools. They're here because they want to generate money. The solution that we're going to bring, that I'm going to show you today, is Smart Links capture prospect data instantly. I'm going to show you how powerful that is. And the beautiful thing is we're going to do it natively, the way that we normally communicate every single day, Kathy. We're not going to throw some weird tool out to you, tell you that all your sales reps need some weird tool. We're going to keep behaviors the same. We're going to keep the way we do business the same. And that's one thing that's going to be And our top priority is make sure that we can bring something to you that's adoptable. Does that make sense? So we can actually implement something into this building that's highly adoptable because they already do it every single day, right? That makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to track and share with these. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your socks off called real-time reporting for sales reps and management. You yourself, not only are your reps going to love it because they're going to generate more money, but I'm telling you, you as a sales manager, business manager, general manager, wait till you guys see what we can do for you. You're gonna love to see exactly how we attack this thing. And there's going to be no more missed follow-ups, automated engagement. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, where our system actually helps kind of follow up, stay up on top of it. So if someone walks in this dealership, Kathy, we want to exhaust. We want to exhaust and give the best opportunity to sell that vehicle and service that customer. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off with doing this. This is kind of a funny thing right here. It says stop doing this. Okay. Lost opportunity for a sales rep, lost opportunity for the dealership, and it has no benefit to the prospect. Would you agree with that? Right. So handing a business card, you can see the picture at the top. What we're seeing is business cards are being handed out on the street and they're driving off down the street. We don't have tracking and we lose that client completely. That client right there, Kathy, pulled into your dealership. You guys have a beautiful dealership. Pulled into this dealership right here for one reason and one reason only, because they were looking for a vehicle potentially. Okay. Now, maybe they came in here for service and parts and I get all that, but when people pull in and they start browsing your lot, they're looking for vehicles. They didn't come here for a cup of coffee. Okay. And what we need to do, we need to be able to seize that moment and immediately jump on it. Today's market right now, cars are loading up. Okay. We're all well aware, even as customers, that car lots are loading up. Car lots are closing because they, floor plans and things like that. And at the end of the day, we want to help you sell more cars, regardless of the environment that it is. And I'm telling you, this is what's super awesome is that technology can help us do that. Okay. Technology can help us do that and supersede some of the things that are maybe outdated of what we're using. I'm not here to pick on anyone. So number one, you see up in the top is a business card. Obviously, we're going to tell you immediately, I'm going to give you a solution for that. But here's what's really comical. You see that phone down there? It has a picture of a business card.
Yeah.
Kathy, this all happened within the past 30 days. Okay. That's a real company. That's a real dealership. And at the end of the day, we ended up buying a car. Okay. But I had to capture this information just for the mere fact that I was like, this is crazy, right? Another dealership, right? And so when I asked this guy for his information, the very first thing was on the phone. Okay. I'm like, hey, can you send your information on the phone? This is exactly what he sent. So he didn't just text me his information, Kathy. He actually took a picture of his business card and sent it to me. Okay. Now, as a customer, I don't know what I do with that. Okay. So I put both of those on there because we have to stop doing this. Any way that you look at it, this is a lost opportunity. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can see us doing that.
Right. So the beautiful thing is that we have a solution, but first, super important that you understand what this whole thing is. Okay. Number one, I want to talk to you a little bit about what a SmartLink is. I want to talk about how does it work. We're going to talk about some benefits. Beautiful thing is, Kathy, you don't have to write anything down. I can even give you this little presentation. This is just for you and I to have some conversation. We're going to talk about some benefits. We're going to talk about the investment, and it's not in this presentation, but we're going to talk a little bit about implementation if it's something that you guys would like to move forward with. Okay. Very first thing I want to kind of start off with you is, what is a smart link? First of all, smart link is a trackable digital link. This is a digital link that's coming directly from our mobile phones, which is super, super important that we understand that all of our salespeople, they have cell phones on them, right? We carry our cell phones everywhere. That's why this is powerful, because we're actually attaching to a tool that we carry with us everywhere. This link is instantly connects to your sales reps and prospects. It captures information, like any information that you really want to gather, Kathy. Their first name, their last name. We have an entire system which we'll talk a little bit more about. But we basically track everything that you really want to from a prospect. There's no more missed opportunities. Every prospect is automatically added to a pipeline and a management dashboard for easy follow-up. So the cool thing about this smart link, and I'm going to show you how it works, is the first thing is when we share something, we're actually sharing a link to that prospect. So we actually have a form, we fill out a form. And again, guys, I'm kind of going through this as I go through this little presentation. There's some screens I'm going to add so they can actually see the form. Okay. I don't have the form in here. I have my share screen in here. But Kathy, if I were to click on that new prospect right there, nice thing about it is the form pops up. I can type in Kathy Jodry phone number. I could even ask you, hey, are you looking for a new car, a used car? What brand? Right? We have Toyota and we have Ford here, and you say, hey, Toyota, awesome. So we have all that tracking right here. And here's what's powerful, Kathy. It's super easy for the reps to use. And we're going to go through kind of step 1, step 2. But I just want you to understand that that powerful tool right there has everything that your reps are going to need, literally everything. So when they come up to a vehicle, they can hit new prospect, they fill out 3 pieces of information, and they're done. Okay. From there, KnoCard starts tracking everything, which we'll get into. All this will make sense here in a moment. Nice thing about it is we have a mobile app. It's on Apple and Google. We also have a full desktop access to it. So if your reps go back to their desks, they can actually kind of see everything, everything that they've added into the Smart Link. They can actually track prospects and everything. We'll get into that. We also even have Google review integration. I love that. We'll talk a little bit about that, not so much in this presentation, but that's super powerful. You guys sell vehicles, you know the power of Google reviews out there. And it's nice because immediately after I sell a car, I can say, hey, Kathy, do you mind if I send you a Google review link? I'd love for you to tag our experience. So you guys do Google reviews here? Do you guys put some emphasis on Google reviews at this dealership?
Oh yeah, I think every dealership does, really.
How are you guys currently doing it today? How are you guys sending that currently today?
Well, we're not. We're just relying on our customers to look us up and give us a review. I mean, sometimes a dealer, one of our salespeople will say, you know, hey, if you've had a really good experience, we'd appreciate if you, you know, send us a review, but that's about it. There's really nothing in place for that.
Okay. Well, the good thing is we have the ability to not only just send a Google review, we can track it. And the beautiful thing is our system immediately pulls that Google review in. This is super powerful to start implementing into our entire sales process, which you and I can kind of talk about. And please understand, I'm just here to kind of guide you, kind of keep you on the rails here. This is your dealership. You're the sales manager here. I'm just going to give you some things that other dealerships are potentially having some success with. But at the end of the day, the review system is huge. If you guys are moving 250 vehicles on a monthly basis, there's no reason that we can't get 200 reviews every single month. But just imagine in 6 months you have another 1,200 reviews that are showing out there online of positive reviews, and all of this is super important because that positive experience is gonna be a determining factor. Do I buy a vehicle over there or a vehicle over here? Reviews are the number one thing that people are using in order to identify who they do business with. Okay. Let's talk about how KnoCard works. How does it track? Okay. So again, I walk up to a vehicle. I share something here with you. Number one, we have the ability to instantly share vehicle information, media, dealership details. This entire KnoCard is kind of acts as almost like, call it like a mini website. We kind of make it where it almost mirrors to a certain degree your website. And the main reason we do that is we want to see that they kind of marry. We don't want this to be kind of its own environment. This is a quick, easy way that we can get customer information. If there's promotions going on, special financing, maybe you guys have some amazing lease deals. So right when we share something, it's powerful because you guys are in control of whatever you guys want to put on this once that salesperson shares that with someone. Does that make sense? So if I'm standing next to your car, I send you a quick text message, I can actually show you everything that the dealer's doing just by clicking on that one link and kind of give you a bird's eye of everything that the dealership is doing. Second thing that we're going to do is we're going to capture the prospect's information, their contact information, interest, where their interest is, what they're interested in. Okay. Then the other nice thing about that is the minute this information comes in, so just walk with me here. I talk to John, I get John's information, John Smith, phone number, and what he's interested in. Are you looking for new? Are you looking for used? I'm talking immediately, Kathy. Not only does it come into the sales rep Smart Link, immediately it gets dropped on your dashboard also. So you're sitting in your office You could have KnoCard sitting up on your desk, Kathy, all day, and you can see in real time, what your salespeople are doing. We're going to talk about how powerful this is, because this right here, these smart links, and Kathy, how many sales reps do we have on the floor today?
We have about 40.
And how many are usually in the dealership all at the same time? Is it 40? Is it 20? How many usually are here on the floor?
Between 15 and 20.
Okay, perfect. So the nice thing about that is, you know, depending on how many ups that they take, and I just want you to just kind of do some basic math as we go through this. Think about how many phone calls come in, Kathy. You know, someone's calling for new or used and gets transferred. Think about how many people walk in the front door, right? And that we can captivate on check-in. Think about how many cars are pulling in that our reps are actually meeting them at the door or on the car lot. If you have 15 reps, and let's just use an easy number of 10 between phone calls and ups. I know the business is a little bit slower right now with inbound traffic in that, but let's just use 10 throughout an entire day. Okay, that's 150 a day, and that's just with your staff of 15 or 20 people. Okay, so 150 a day is 750 a week. You have over, I mean, think about this, over 3,000 people that we can captivate. And let's just kind of park there for a second. Kathy, is that a value if I can captivate 3,000 prospects that are walking in and calling on the phone or pulling in on the lot that currently we're not captivating by using this business card that I'm holding in my hand right now?
Yes, I'm not really sure what you mean by captivating, though. How are you going to captivate them?
So basically what we do is we're going to open up this smart link, which I'm going to show you. And at the end of the day, I'm going to ask you, Kathy, what's your name? What's your phone number? And I'm going to send them right there at the car, my smart link directly to you. Does that make sense? So right there, you're going to have all of our dealership information, and all that information is going to get dropped directly into our system that we can start tracking this customer. So let me just keep going. I'll show you what kind of step one looks like. We're going to replace those outdated business cards and trackability. We're going to ensure that no prospect opportunity slips through the cracks. But let me show you how simple this actually is. Number one, we're going to share the smart link. And one thing I'm going to do, guys, is again, this is kind of round one of our presentation. I'm going to show you what the actual form looks like. Kathy, I don't know if technology gave us to drop the boxes, you know, how we were adding it. Did you check that today?
I have not seen it yet. I have not completed testing yet, though.
Okay. So guys, we'll add some visuals as we go through this, but step one is really simple. Share the smart link. Every smart link shared captures valuable prospect information. We collect name, phone number, email, their car interest, purchase timeline. You know, timeline meaning like, hey, you know, are you looking at purchasing a car this month, next month? How soon are you looking? There's no extra work. Everything happens instantly when we share that smart link. So again, we open it up, get their information, and send. And literally in 10 seconds, they get everything, and we get everything about them. Information instantly flows into the salesperson's smart links pipeline, and real-time updates push to the owner's dashboard for real visibility. So salesperson is standing over here, types their information in, first name, phone number used, comes into our pipeline, and automatically mirrors against our owner's dashboard. That's step number one here. Step number two, just so you understand, Kathy, we take all this information. This information comes into your office, phone number, name, vehicle interest. If there's an appointment, we have the ability to even track test drives, financing applications. Everything happens immediately, and I'll give you a demo of the actual product so you understand the actual app itself. This presentation is kind of staying high level so you understand what SmartLink actually does. But every new prospect in real time, it gets entered into the system in real time. So as your sales rep enters that in, you can see it in real time on your dashboard. We can instantly monitor salespeople's activity and their follow-up progress. Now, I'm not saying that your salespeople aren't working, Kathy, but the nice thing about the KnoCard SmartLink, at the end of the day, no one can hide in the shadows. We track it all. We track new prospects. We track if your guy, you know, went out there and did a test drive. We track all of those things out there. And the nice thing about it is This is data that you guys can monitor and you guys can start to measure, which we'll get into. We're going to identify some hot prospects and some buying signals without even asking, right? When I share a smart link with you, we're going to start to see the customer activity. We're going to start to see if there's engagement there. It's also nice because the customer can actually start engaging right away with the sales rep. So through text message, the way you guys are currently doing right now, we want to keep that pattern going. Ask the customer, hey, listen, are you interested in taking a test drive? So what we do is we use text messaging to keep drawing them back in, but as much information as we can, the system is going to also collect all that information. So it's just going to help customers make faster decisions. Sometimes the sales reps that follow up, within the first 30 minutes, statistically, it shows that there's a 42% gain that they're going to get that sale as long as they follow up within 30 minutes. Now, the nice thing about that is we have tools like this that we do have the ability to follow up with them, as opposed to using business cards that we don't even know who they are nor how to get in touch with them. Okay. Step 3, we're going to monitor and measure all that data, right? So instantly as leads come into the dealership, it's going to be nice because we can actually measure, they can measure all of that data to see how many new prospects are coming in, maybe what the customers are looking for, depending on if they're looking for that metrics. Like sometimes you have to understand, maybe you guys have a promotion going on. Maybe you want to track a video. We have a lot of different things that KnoCard can do behind the scenes. I want to keep it simple. I want to basically get your mind around using the smart link, sharing it with prospects. Data comes in to you and gives us a higher opportunity for more leads to close business. So we're going to track each rep's activity, shares, follow-up, test drives, and you're going to be able to hold them accountable. You can view where every prospect sits when it comes to the buying journey, to kind of prevent deals from falling through. So for example, if someone is browsing, great. We can actually track from browsing to, are they taking a test drive? Are they filling out a finance application? Maybe all the way down to sold. So what can happen is we can start to understand where that process is getting dropped. Maybe one of your sales reps has a very high success rate and he's closing cars within 2.5 hours, when it's taking other reps a full day or a couple days, and where in that process are they dropping off? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we get to monitor and measure the salespeople, marketing efforts. And the biggest thing we want to see is we want to start to see conversions increase. And the way the conversions are going to increase is we just have to put more opportunities out in front of them. The very last thing of the system, just so you understand, we are a data aggregator. So basically what we do is our system gathers up all the data. Okay. So again, truly what we do is we bring in the data, we track all the data, we trace the data, we deliver the data directly to you. You guys probably have different CRMs that you guys are using on the back end, depending on what kind of systems those are. We can actually integrate directly into those systems. So all of our data that we're actually pulling from these smart links, all this brand new prospect information can actually be dropped directly on you guys. And from there, you can actually export that data. Some of our systems even will give you the ability to automatically just move data back and forth. So almost in real time or on the hour, we could program it where it could actually push data into your system. That's going to be powerful because obviously you could do email campaigns, and more importantly, just imagine where your new prospect list is going to be in just 90 days. Okay, so all of this data, just so you understand, is 100% yours, and you guys can do whatever you guys want with that actual data. The other thing that's nice about KnoCard with the actual SmartLink system is your reps can use the system while they're on the phone. So even if they take on inbound calls, have them fill out that smart link, have them fill out first name, last name, phone number, maybe what that customer is interested in, do it from a phone call. We're going to be able to track it from the front desk. If anyone comes in the front door and doesn't talk to a sales rep, we need to have a little tablet right on the front. We have the ability to captivate that information. So those are all brand new prospects. We even have QR codes that are completely trackable also that you guys can even use on after hours, which is really nice. There's a lot of people that will seek vehicles after hours. Well, instead of just sending them to a website and sending them to a car, let's go ahead and send them so we can connect with the rep or at least captivate that information And most customers will fill that information in, especially if they're interested in the vehicle, because it is after hours, right? That, they maybe don't want to talk to someone, but they're willing to put their first name, last name, so they can get some more information on that vehicle. Our smart links can also track all that. So we capture the data also all the way through there. So before I get into the pricing, I know that's a lot. And guys, again, this is not traditionally how we're going to do the presentation, because you want interaction. I just don't want this call going for over an hour here. So Kathy, what kind of questions do you have? And does some of this make sense? And again, guys, this is our first draft, so there's some visuals that we need to add in here so they understand that smart link. They understand what that input looks like, and they understand how simple it is that we can just keep things simple. And that is real simple of enter the information in, the information comes into our system, we track it, we measure it, and we take the customer we can take the customer all the way through the process of test drive, finance, and more sales.
Yeah, I think there definitely have to be some visuals, because it's hard for me to even know what I would ask, but I think I'd be confused if I didn't know what the product was. Even to the point of like sending a smart link that it's a link that's sent through that's received through text message.
Yeah. And just so you understand, like this is kind of like some foundation stuff. There's some things that what I want to do is I want to just kind of go through it and condense it down, right? And make it even make it, we have to make it Sesame Street easy here. But what we don't want to do is we don't want them to not understand what the product does. So we want to make sure that some of that information is there. I'm a big fan of you showing your phone, right? So you could have something like this, but it's very, very powerful for you to have your phone in your hand and you're showing them certain slides like this, which I do think that we should condense down. But it's nice because you have your phone there. So as you're talking, you want to maybe turn your phone, show the screens. You can show interaction of the app because you're carrying your mobile phone. This presentation is really not designed where we're not going to show the phone. It's really designed as kind of a template and give you some ideas for some talking points. What I'm doing right now, which seems kind of discombobulated, I don't usually use these types of presentations because I understand the product. So I would literally have some open dialogue. I want you guys to more or less use these things for some training tools so you guys understand what the product can do and how it works. But we're going to talk a lot more in depth about how to position the product, how to actually sell the product. I wanted to kind of show you first draft of the presentation, but I need you guys to understand what the product actually does. And then we can talk more in depth of like, here, this is how I would do it. I would have the iPad here. I would open this thing up. And as I'm referencing certain things, for example, hey, how does it track? So this would be up on the screen, for example, right? I would have my cell phone and I would be showing you right here. Hey, Kathy, the nice thing is this is how we're tracking. So when it comes to, hey, what is my smart link? I would do it right here. So one thing that's very powerful is I would say something like this, like on this page right here. Hey, Kathy, do you have your cell phone right there? And you're going to say what? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. So Kathy, let me just kind of show you what a rep would actually do right here. And I would take my cell phone and I would turn it and I would say, so the first thing I'm going to do is here's our KnoCard. You see the smiley face right here? I would hit the smiley face and you see where it says new prospect, you're a brand new prospect. So let's just say if I met you out on the street, I would hit new prospect and you see this form right here. And they go, yeah. I'm going to type your information in, but I want you to see what you would get here. Now, obviously, this is just a demo app, okay? But I want you to kind of see what you'd get. Kathy, Jodry, phone number. And Kathy, even if you didn't give me your last name, it's okay, right? So what we want to do is get as much information as we can. So I would type in Kathy, phone number. Hey, Kathy, just real quick. What are you interested in? Are you interested in new or used? Oh, and what brand? You're looking for this. Okay, great. Send. And the minute I send it, her phone is going to ding. Okay. Yeah. This is going to be powerful because she can actually see it. And again, folks, I don't like when I sell, I like using visuals, but I never follow any type of presentations. And it's just because I need to make sure, like when I was talking to Brett earlier, Brett's like, Rob, I just need to know the product inside and out. And you're absolutely right. What we want to use on this presentation are tools that are just kind of there visually to help support our presentation. But when I actually sell this, when I'm sitting, you know, I'd sit down with you, I would have my cell phone in my hand and I'd be showing you and interacting, because people that can see it and touch it and feel it, where they're like ding and a text message comes back, they're like, oh, okay, wow. Now, cool, Kathy, go ahead and click on that. And just so you know, all this data is coming in real time now. So I can actually show her in real time. She starts clicking, she starts doing things. And in real time, I could show, you see that information, Kathy? That just landed in this pipeline. You see this information? That just landed on a dashboard that can be in your office. And then I would pause while she's kind of playing around, right? And she'd go, wow, that's cool. Okay, I get it. And then we would move on. Because again, I don't present this way. I just need to go through the actual, like, so you guys understand, you guys have the premise of what we're going after. This is a super, super easy product because you can go in a lot of different directions. Business cards, the way people are selling, you know, people standing around, people not engaging, you know, we didn't even get into the group messaging here. Hey, listen, we also have some powerful tools that you can stay in touch with your, you know, with your team. We didn't, you know, so when you start showing them that, it's nice because you have the ability to kind of move around your presentation. The more that you know the product, tracking, for example, if I were talking about the tracking, so Kathy, you know, already received a text message, so she's already kind of engaging with me. She's holding her phone, I'm holding my phone. And I would say, Kathy, so now let me show you our tracking. And that's super powerful because she's like, she's more hands-on and she's actually seeing it. When you do presentations like this, it's a little bit more difficult if you don't have your cell phone. And that's what I'm saying, guys. If you guys have like iOS, if you guys have Android, make sure that you really understand how that app moves. Because when you're talking to her, it's going to be easy. Like, here, Kathy, I'm just going to hit the smiley face. And then I'm like, here, Kathy, why don't you click around on a couple things? We have a media you can click on. You can click on here. So she clicks on it, and I give it a minute usually, you know, wait till it pings again, and I'm just having conversation. And I'll say, here, Kathy, you see this? And I could show her my phone. I could say, Kathy Jodry, wow. She's like, wow, that's cool. I can even go into view activity and I can actually see it. Now I can also go even into a high-end report. How many shares I did. Your salespeople can even set goals, right? So they shared their information. Well, guess what? They're one closer to their goal. So we even do goal setting. It's very powerful for you as a sales manager to say, hey guys, we're going to set some goals, and our goals today is that we're going to share 10 finance applications. Well, Kathy, let me show you how we do a finance application. This, finance, send. Was that easy? This, finance, send. And when I do that, you're going to get real-time reporting of what's actually going on there.
Yeah.
Sense?
Totally.
So again, what we want to do, guys, is we want to make sure that you guys understand all the angles of the product. Okay. Like, you guys are salespeople. There is no cut and dry exact like presentation. You guys aren't telemarketers. Okay. That's why you need to know the product and you need to kind of move on your feet. So it's really easy. Talk to them. Hey, listen, let me show you how it works. Kathy, I'm gonna show you a presentation. It's just basically for reference. But if you're okay, I'd like to kind of interact with my phone and your phone just so you can kind of see how it works, if that's okay. Boom, 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 boom. And then we just go through this as they're looking at it. People are visual. You know, the cool thing about like a presentation like this is that you can reference bullet points to kind of keep people on track also. And then if you need something like this, it's also good because you can keep them on track if you want to, you know, if you're trying to find a flow. We'll have to find a presentation that kind of like works and is more condensed. But at the end of the day, you're really going to kind of reference something like this, and then you're going to use your mobile phone.
Thinking, how do you say, like, you know how you have your customer journey, like step 1, step 2, step 2, like, could you use it for that, like to see where
if you would want to sit there and create for each step. or each major step.
Right,
know?
'cause that could be helpful to me, like to see this person downloaded my, my free lead generator, this person
It's
workshop.
Is this our meeting?
Now, we can also build that out in opportunities,
Oh.
pipeline.
Rob, I think we're tapped into somebody else's meeting.
I'm not sure what this is. Hold on one second here. So I'm gonna hit well, let's just kind of keep going here because we're almost done. I'm not sure what that is. I think that was someone talking in the background. Can you see on Zoom? Is everyone muted out here? Let me just see something here.
Yeah, everybody's muted out except for you and me.
Okay. Guys, every once in a while, this is the beautiful thing about Zoom. There's some cross referencing here, so cross contamination. But Kathy, does that all make sense? So again, that kind of gives us like a rough draft.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that people aren't confused about the presentation. But at the end of the day, what we want to do is we just want to use it as a reference point, and then you're basically gonna demo it with your actual phone. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
we open it up, we say 1 or 2 slides, and then we start using our phone. And as we go through it, we're just referencing slides. It's going to move fairly quick because the only thing that you're really going to want to show them is how to input the information into the smart link, where that smart link records, make sure that they get the text message. And then from there, the light bulb will immediately go off of going, okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. So the minute they view what we're talking about on the first 1 or 2 slides, that they actually receive the text, right? They receive the text and they can see your phone. All these other slides make sense.
Right.
Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
you want to be just interactive, and then all you're doing is the rest of the slides basically are going to support with the experience that they just went through.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So what I want to do is let's open up the floor for just a minute. Again, guys, we know kind of where we're at with the presentation. We're going to add to it. If you guys have some ideas of adding to the presentation that could be beneficial, we could have many different versions of this thing. What we're trying to do is just zero in with what works and what doesn't, and just make it super easy. But I'm a hands-on guy. I just have my phone. I usually share it that way. Go ahead.
I got one quick question regarding salesperson and customer engagement tracking. When the customer is in communication, has received the text message, whether it's a simple application or just information about the car, what is to prevent them from doing a workaround where they're just doing strictly off their phone from now on because they want to have a communicate? I mean, in other words, is all their communications being tracked? Every discussion is going to be tracked and stored in the cloud, or is it just specifics?
Yeah. So you're talking about from the sales rep to the customer?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way that our system works right now is anything that we send a link to, it tracks that activity. We do track. We do have some basic follow-ups that we can trigger automated follow-ups. Automated means like I can click on it and it tracks it in there. But the actual messaging, what majority of people are using today, even just out on the ground as salespeople, there's really no tracking that they're using. They're all just using their just mobile phones, just having communication back and forth. It would be kind of odd for a dealership, and maybe we're going to come across one that do. I don't know if they really track the communication. I think what's most important to us is that we're actually tracking the steps. So that's a great question. So let's just kind of stay there for a second. So Kathy, let me just kind of show you something here real fast, Christian. Let me bring up this. Hold on 1 second here. Kathy, give me the okay, so this is Mark. Let me see here. Okay. So I'm gonna go into this person. And this is going to be changing. Christian, you can see my screen, correct? Okay. So you see where it says interest level? That interest level is going to be like an activity. It's not going to say interest level. They're updating that. But here's the thing. If I was a sales rep, I can immediately go into here and identify what Christian is wanting to do, right? So what we want to do is we want to create habits. So the minute I connect with you and I start showing you cars, regardless of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I immediately will go in and I'll actually tag that Christian's browsing vehicles right now. So I don't really need a note, like you and I are talking, right? And I'm just, what the system is doing is it's tracking in real time, date and time, the actual process of what we're going through. So now I say, hey, Christian, you love this car. Hey, do you want to take a test drive? And Christian goes, yeah, I'd love to take a test drive. I get your driver's license. And as I'm getting ready to jump in the car, I just open up my app and I do this. Took a test drive, just like that. And you need to understand how powerful this is when we explain it and show it in real time to a sales manager, because all of this stuff is tracking in real time. What this is powerful is that we can start to understand from start to finish. Does it take Christian 2.5 hours to sell a car? Then we go on a test drive, it's 40 minutes. And then we say this, hey, hey, do you want to, what do you think? Oh man, I love it. Do you want to, you want to see what the finance rates look like? You want to see what some payments look like? No commitment, but let's maybe see what payment. You go, yeah, let's do it. Then I go here, submitted application. Hey, let me send the application to you. You ready? I hit the smiley face, finance. You see that? You guys see how I did that? Right there. So we're going to show them right there. Finance application, share it. See, I did share to KnoCard contact. Why did I do that? I did it because they're already in my system. They're already added in as a new prospect, right? I'm not going to add them in as another new prospect. So I'm going to go Kathy Jodry. There she is. Boom. And she just got the application. That right there is now triggering on the owners on the dashboard. And again, we're tracking all this information. Okay. And again, we take them all the way down. Christian's excited. He did an application and he now purchased a vehicle. And the cool thing is it's tracking it 1, 2, 3 all the way through. So again, this is something just really nice for the dealership to have. And once we encourage and we kind of teach that behavior, when there's goals up here, guys. So I'm going to go back to home.
Rob, can you just show them too how all of those entries got tracked in the notes?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, go back to view note.
Yeah. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to, who did I send it to? You, Kathy, didn't I?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, you sent it to me.
No,
It's in the, yeah,
So
go
there's
back in the pipeline.
no, I'm in the pipeline.
Okay.
The note is right here. It's in this guy. So you see here, I can go into view notes and you guys see that. So we don't have the notes underneath there, which is totally fine. What's most important is you see how I'm tracking the times here. Browsing vehicles, took test drive, submitted application, purchased vehicle, okay? Or leased vehicle. Is that what you want to show me? You wanted me to, okay?
Yeah,
other
just the timestamps, everything, so you know how you went through the process.
Exactly. So I can also go home and guys, let's just say if I had my, my goals up here, I could edit my goals. Let's just say Monday morning, they're like, hey guys, we need to share, 15 times today. Okay. And they could just do, we can reset this. Let's just say it's 14 days. So Kathy, we probably need to update that, right? Even put a day, right? Just one day on there, put a note out there for tech. Because if they're doing daily goals, maybe they just want to do a daily goal today. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So let's just say if I hit save, okay. You see this little toggle button, display goals here, guys. Make sure you guys turn that on, okay? And watch what happens. There's my goals. So today I'm supposed to, my manager says I'm supposed to share it 15 times. I haven't met my goal, okay? And today I've already shared it once, right? So this is going to be powerful. This data also is coming into the owner's dashboard. They're actually seeing what sales reps are actually hitting their goals, which sales reps are not. Again, this presentation does not have owner's dashboard on it. Okay. And that's something that makes more sense and more logical to a customer to view an owner's dashboard on this iPad like this. But again, when you're going through smart links, make sure you're using your mobile phone. Okay. And again, the only reason I say that we should use this for the owner's dashboard is because we're probably going to have a bunch of screenshots really exposing what that owner's dashboard does. A lot of that, we're just going to stay real high level. We track. And then when you guys deliver the product, you're going to give like a little 30-minute little, overview of how to use it, which is super easy. It's very, very easy just to click around because it's all like, this is what your people are doing. This is their name. I mean, it's all very intuitive. So, but the cool thing about it is you guys can see your goals there. I can go into new prospects and there they are right there. Right now, the nice thing about this new prospect, guys, is the minute we add that form. Okay. So let me go back. We can customize this prospect form. This prospect form hasn't been updated. Okay. So for a dealership, that's not what theirs would look like. It would say add new contacts, first name, last name, phone number, maybe email. And then we're going to have a whole bunch of drop downs. Are you looking for new? Are you looking for used? Are you looking for this brand? How soon are you looking at buying? Right. And we would also have notes on there. So let's just say maybe I want to put some, memory jogger notes. Hey, the guy drives a 2016 Ford Explorer. He came in and he was with his daughter. Right. So maybe some little memory jogger notes so you kind of, remember who he is. Once you hit add right there, then it's automatically going to trigger that you did another share. Okay. And it's going to update directly on your today's shares also. So once this is very easy once you're actually showing them the actual app itself. Hey, Mr. Customer, the nice thing about it is I can get into group messaging. You guys have group messaging right here. You guys can immediately connect with your team in real time. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of really, really cool, super benefits to show them. The export, we'll talk a little bit more about exporting data. Part of this presentation that I wanted to do, and I apologize that it's kind of broken right now because it's just graphic intense, and I'm just kind of playing around with the first draft. But the cool thing about it is once we kind of get that presentation really dialed in, it really is going to be your main tool just to kind of have with you for reference. Like for me, again, I have a super hard time because I talk too much and there's a lot of information I want to tell them, and I also read them. So if I start talking in a direction and I can kind of start to see that they're kind of not understanding something, most salespeople, they just keep flowing on this presentation. That's why I can't follow those. So I'm constantly reading like body language, and I'm also very, very, very interactive. Hey, Kathy, so what do you think about that? Hey, oh, you have a new phone, blah, blah, blah. And you're building up that communication, and what you're doing is you're getting them super excited, and you're walking them into, oh my gosh, this is such a no-brainer, right? That's why these types of presentations are a little bit more challenging, because they're more of an information dump. They're not monitoring kind of what that sales manager is like, what's thinking, what they're thinking. If they start getting really interactive, well, tell me about this, Robin, tell me about that. Like the last thing you want to do is break that conversation, that great conversation, and then jump into your presentation, like, because you need to go through your presentation. No, you guys are all salespeople. This is nothing more than reference. The whole objective goal is to make sure they understand this is a smart link. This is our form that we fill out. This form feeds data to a sales rep so they can follow through pipeline. We have the ability to track browsing cars, financing cars, test drives, sold cars, leased cars, all the benefits of SmartLink. So we can have a page that just kind of pings on all the SmartLink benefits. And then that's it. Like, as long as they understand that, then the whole piece, then everything starts to make sense, right? And that's why you want to make sure that you're being interactive and you know how to move quickly on your phone. People love the interaction to say, hey, Kathy, what's your cell phone number? Oh, yeah, let's do it, right? Because you know what that shows them? You're not afraid to show them how your technology works. right? They love that. They love the interaction. What they hate is that you're bringing a technology forward, but you don't want to show it, right? You don't want to show it. You don't want to show how it works. This is super easy, very, very easy. What other questions do you guys have? I don't want to keep you guys on all night, but I just want to make sure you guys understand. What other questions you guys have?
I got one more. It has to do with whether or not, in your experience, there's a need for a toggle. Let's say I'm a inconsiderate customer and I work with you for a whole day. You did all the data collection, and 2 days later, I just show up and it happens to be your day off, and I want to buy this car today, and another salesperson has to do all the work. And is there a way, because I don't know how dealerships work when it comes to split commissions or if they have to share it. Is there a way that is there a solution on our platform that solves that problem?
That's a fantastic question, honestly. And it's not even something I've really even like thought about, but it's definitely something that we're going to have to address. Kathy, I want you to ask tech if there's a way that ask them if there's a way to check the database as inbound prospects are coming in that would show something like prospect has already been added, because that would be the quickest way to kind of rectify right out of the gate that lead has already been like that. Someone's already working with that person.
All right, so it'd have to go back, it would have to go and check the database just for that group to make sure that person isn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want it would take too long to go through the entire day. Just hit that database. Yeah. So what we can do is we can kind of think about, what's the best way to handle that. I mean, I'm sure they have policies in place at specific dealerships of how they probably handle, a lot of salespeople, they do share commissions. You do this, I do this. It's my day off. Sarah will take care of you tomorrow, whatever the case may be. So, we'll kind of have to find out what those dealership rules are, but it does make sense for the sales rep to ask, are you currently working with anybody? And that usually, spearheads, any issues if they are working with somebody. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it like, does anybody know how dealerships even handle that? Brett, do you know what they do about that kind of thing?
No, but as soon as we enter data, there's gonna be a timestamp on it. So if I saw Rob on Monday, it's gonna timestamp, I saw Rob. So if the general manager looks at that lead, so that he's a duplication, who saw him first? It's gonna be more of a dealership. I try not to get stuck in the weeds, like, that's gonna be a one-off, but
Yeah.
it'll be date stamp. I think we can kind of keep this simple, stupid. I mean, I'll summarize what you have, Rob. It comes down to like 5 points here: from rapport building, bring the pain, what's the industry pain, the dealership pain, show and tell, quantify the ROI with people, and then say, hey, here's the next steps. We kind of keep it simple so we can duplicate it very, very easy.
Yeah. Well, Brett, you and I can kind of work through that. So we can kind of build something together like that, because so there's two things here. Number one, I think that we should have almost like just like a slide that basically kind of goes through a lot of like the extra like little things of saying, hey, we also do boom, 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 just to kind of add value. But I totally agree that, I mean, a perfect scenario outside of them seeing the actual app itself and actually touching it, feeling it is yeah. I mean, we can condense this thing down into 5 right away. I love the quantification of exactly what you're talking about, because you have to do that. Simple, like, hey, you have X amount of reps, we're bringing in data. I mean, basically what we focus on, we just focus on data and giving you more data, which gives you more opportunities.
So Rob, what I'm trying to do is I'm putting myself in a salesperson's shoes. If there's an incentive going on and there's money at stake, and it's the end of the month, and that scenario takes place, I'm just trying to figure out whether or not this system is beneficial, or if we just leave it up to the manager's decision to say, hey, it's your sale, or you split the sale. Who gets the credit for that one car that goes out that was enough to put him in the lead, so to speak?
Oh yeah. I mean, And that's what I'm saying. I think like the goal setting is super cool. You know, again, we have to look at all the hot buttons for a sales manager. They're always interested in how do we rally the team? How do we get people excited? You know, how do we keep the energy up? And the best thing to do is have goals. Hey guys, today, you know, we usually do, you know, goals on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we do little contests, this and that. Hey, it's Friday. What's our contest today? Hey, if anyone hits, you know, 15 test drives or 10 test drives, whatever the case may be, we're doing this, right? So I think that the app will be able to track that and make it fun. You know, there's a lot of statistical data on gamification on apps and things like that, and people will engage. The cool thing about this is it's a mobile app and we're all used to using it. It's text messaging, we're all used to receiving it. So we're not changing any behavior. What we're doing is we just need to keep it simple. So, you know, a lot of these dealerships are, you know, maybe their sales managers are a little bit older, and but they still understand text messaging. They still understand the power of the data. So yeah, we definitely need to you know, water it down presentation wise, as long as you guys know exactly what Brett and I were talking about today. As long as you guys know all the ins and outs behind the scenes of how the app works, a lot of this, which I totally agree, is really like we could put this in training videos. They could basically dive in deep anytime that they want. What we want to do is just make sure they understand the power of that the system, and that is get the data, send the data, measure the data, quantify it, and this is how much, you know, this is how much the system costs, right? And if we can do that, and I'm telling you, if we send the smart link to the manager right there, all this is going to make it really easy, because the light bulb immediately goes off when you're actually touching it and you're actually seeing in real time it happening, because there's no weird like technology here. It's all very straightforward. That all makes sense?
Yeah.
So guys, let's do this. I'm going to spend some time, Brett, let's you and I, Christian, I know you have a lot of success with some trainings and things like that. I want us to all take a look at, like, you know, the presentation, and maybe just, you know, you guys can even jot it down on a piece of paper, whatever, of, hey, you know, let's do 5 slides and 6 slides, show a graphic, show the phone, whatever, and just plug in these bullet points, right? And I want you guys to think about, you know, sales reps that are new with us that are going to use this presentation obviously in a live appointment. And as long as those bullet points are there and that sales rep is holding their phone, we can absolutely condense this right down into, you know, 5 slides, 6 slides,
Yeah.
right? So let's do that. And Brett, you know, what people don't realize, Brett's ran massive sales organizations. So he's got a laser eye of, you know, how to quickly, you know, quantify and move things quick, and make sure that it's understandable. That's the biggest thing. This is easy. Let's just get a quick presentation and then get you guys out on the street. Brett, I'm kind of thinking as early as Monday we should be able to get some of these guys out on the street.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the best way to just fail forward. That's all. It's okay. You're not going to be perfect. Just get out there. We can sit here for months and months studying it, but you just got to go do it.
Yeah, you got to
sharpen the axe.
Yep. So one thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start having just some individual calls with you guys. We're going to talk about just some logistics. We are one thing that we are going to do about the merchant account. Just so you guys know, I'm going to handle the merchant account on my side. I'll talk to you guys about commissions and things like that. We'll go through commissions for you guys, so you guys understand exactly what that structure looks like for you. Okay, with us carrying the merchant account. But it definitely is going to make sense. Our merchant, Kathy, have you heard back from Ricardo on the link yet? Or
I haven't heard back. I did shoot off the info to him though. Okay, so if you can make sure that you follow up first thing in the morning, so we can get that resolved. He can walk you through it. I'm sure. I mean, everything is already live. We just need the settings proper, so we can implement that link. Okay. So guys, outside of our presentation, okay. This presentation tool, making sure you guys know how the product works. We already have our agreements in place. Okay. You know, Brett, you and I can maybe also go through some of the
tools to make sure that we kind of have a checklist of like, okay, do they have this, and this? And again, you know, it's okay that we're kind of learning as we go, because you guys will find certain tools that you guys are going to use, and you may say, you know, Rob, I just kind of use this presentation just as reference, but you know, I'm a people person, so I sat down with them, and you know, we referenced it 10% of the time, this presentation, just because it had some bullet points, but the guy got it right away, and we immediately started talking about, you know, quantifying and ROI, and that's how I closed the sale, and that's how most of them are going to go. Most of them are going to go. I mean, this right here is if you don't understand technology at all, you know what I'm saying? Where we're kind of trying to dumb it down, but maybe I kind of overthought it. I was thinking I can fast track it, but again, I'm terrible at following bullet points and stuff like that. So guys, let's do this. Brett, you and I can rendezvous later or tomorrow. Maybe hit me up first thing in the AM. Let's go through, but I can send this off, have you kind of take a look at some stuff. It'd be great for you to take a look at that presentation also. But yeah, so if we can do that, that would be fantastic. The other guys out there, please make sure that we keep close in contact. I will probably start reaching out to you guys individually. I want to start having some conversations with you folks to kind of see how you guys are feeling about things, where you're, you know, we can kind of have some dialogue back and forth, so I can kind of see where your skill set is on the actual app itself. So if I were a customer and I were to say, hey, you know, hey Kathy, how do I do this? Do you know how to move on your feet? Because the product is easy. And that's what I'm saying, guys. We should know the product inside out. There's not a lot to it. There's just a lot of other parts to pull together if they have some questions. That's all. I mean, it's very, very easy though. Does that all make sense? So let's wrap it up. There's a possibility we could even do a call over the weekend if you guys are around. Otherwise, I'll maybe do something recorded. But I just want to touch base over the next couple of days, and those that are interested in kind of hitting the ground on Monday as early as possible. Let's make sure that we do that and start seeing some success here.
Cool.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we will rendezvous over the next few days here. Kathy, do you want to end the recording here?
Yeah, I don't know if, I think when we just quit out of it, it should end. Good night, everybody.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks.